this. No, out.
Fighting those fires was really frightening. Harrowing's the only word I can use. We went to fires where fire-generated thunderstorms, winds were coming from every direction, 60-metre high flames, saw a mob of kangaroos that had come out of a burning forest on fire and died on the side of the road. And kangaroos know how to get away from fires, but not fires like these. You know, and I've never seen anything like that. I've been fighting fires for 50 years, and in that time the fire seasons have become longer, the fire weather has become worse, it's hotter, it's drier, and this was driven by climate change.
Here we are again with unprecedented volumes of water, far more than the 2011 floods. We've seen flood peaks in Lismore 2 metres above the historical high. Climate change is embedded in these disasters. We're going to get more disasters, they're going to become more frequent, and they're going to be more damaging.
This is Murwillumbah on the New South Wales north coast. When I bought my house here behind me 6 months ago, I was told that it was above the 100-year flood line. That's where I'm currently standing. But how many more of these unprecedented events can we take in this area?
Australia is extremely vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. We're already seeing mega fires, intense storms, bleaching on the Great Barrier Reef, incredibly long, hot, dry droughts and extreme heat waves.
I believe it's vitally important to have hope and to come up with solutions, because just saying here's the problem, it can be overwhelming to people. And the Climate Council is holding the federal government to account, as well as coming up with vital solutions that they can adopt.
One of a new wave of female independents targeting seats held by Australia's ruling coalition party.
As the results roll in, one thing is clear: Australians are ready for real action on climate change.
And Australians have spoken, they want climate change to be at the forefront. So this is a step in the right direction, but there's still a lot of work to do.
It's about the action that we get going right now.
I'm here outside the federal parliament, and of course it's about a year since the climate election, when Australia elected the most progressive federal parliament on climate action. And since that time, there's been lots of great things achieved, including the safeguard mechanism going through the parliament, upping our climate targets, important contributions in the budget, but there's so much more to do.
What the Climate Council does is make sure that the best informed voices are talking about climate change and how we can address it.
I really appreciate the Climate Council does its work based on hard science and accumulating all the leading experts in the field, and it does evidence-based policy development, and that's essential for our time.
We need to increase the scale and pace of change. We've just seen coal and gas projects approved, which is disastrous for climate outcomes. I often say we've climbed the first mountain, which is gaining political will, but there's another mountain to climb, which is getting the policy through the parliament.
The thing we must do this decade is rapidly reduce emissions and transition to clean fuels.
Australia should be and could be a renewables powerhouse. We have abundant natural resources, solar and wind. We've got the land, we've got the brains, we've got the technology. And of course, we could also be producing thousands of new clean green jobs. We could be leading the world.
I support the Climate Council because it's my way of being able to contribute to our need to address climate change and the urgency of addressing it now.
You know, other than having my children and being part of a family, what I do for the Climate Council, I think, is the most important thing I can do with my life.
The big motivator to me is my grandchildren, my children. I want to try and leave this world a better place, and there's lots and lots of problems, but none bigger than the existential threat of climate change.
And we're so happy that the Climate Council community is always with us. Your support means everything.